Yo, welcome in, Magic Learners. Much love. Travis here bringing you another match with the Blue-Red Polymorph. We're 2-0. If you haven't watched the deck tech, make sure to check it out. I'm going to keep this hand. I decided to play with the deck again, just because it's a really fun deck for me. Interesting. Swamp. Juke, the quick juke. Yeah, just because it's a fun deck that I wanted to play with. So, the way the series works, if you've been here or if you're new here, it's intentionally repetitive. It is about habit formation. Yeah, and we'll get into that. We're gonna go into habit formation today because that's a useful thing. So what I mean by that is establishing a rhythm, a daily routine. This is about starting new habits and breaking bad habits. For anyone who has things they should not be doing, this is really meant to help with that. It's really minor thing of playing Magic on the daily basis, but it's meant to be for me and for anyone who follows along a life-changing thing. In that major change happens one day at a time. So if we lose, we come back and we try again. If we win, we come back and we try again. Or if we win, we come back and I don't know where our opponent is. Or if we win, but that's fine, we can talk about this. Or if we win, we come back and we can play a new deck. I decided today that I wanted to play the same deck because it makes sense to have 3 to 4 matches with each deck, I think. It doesn't make sense to just win the first one or the second one and say, see you later. Although it could. But for this deck, it's fun, and I didn't mind playing again. Okay, the opponent has shown up. Again, if you haven't seen the deck, check out the deck tech, which is, yeah, and you can check out the last 2 matches. I'm going to lead with the Steam Vents. Game plan is to send Emrakul through the breach or polymorph a creature land folk into Emrakul. Emrakul, the big, the bad, the nasty. And blue-red, we're supporting with burn, with counter spells. Raven's Crime. This is going to be, I would guess this is going to be a tough match. I'm going to discard a Through the Breach. That might be a mistake. I think we're going to get smallpoxed into Bolivian, as Mike Tyson would say. As good old Mike Tyson would say, I'm concerned about the cards Liliana of the Veil and Smallpox. Ghost Quarter also problematic. Wrench Mind, that's a beating. I'm going to pitch Lightning Bolt and Wooded Foothills. It doesn't seem like the Lightning Bolt's going to be super useful. So, best case scenario, we draw Surgical on Through the Breach. Okay, that's a beating. Best case scenario, we draw Polymorph, I guess, but I'm not super optimistic about how this game's going to end. The opponent's able to pull out all of our Through the Breaches. And we have basically no backup plan, but that's alright. Look at this thing, the spine is getting taken out. Okay. So let's go ahead and Serum Visions, see what is potentially waiting. There's an Emrakul, which is pretty bad draw, really. Yeah, I don't think that we can win because the opponent can just Ghost. If the opponent has looked at our deck and knows what we're doing, so they can save Ghost Quarter, should be able to save Ghost Quarter for our creature land, and that's it. Okay, so a little bit more on the topic of habit formation or deformation. So you should know that generally what the new science is saying is it takes about 66 days to break a habit to make something routine. It's actually been about 66 days since this channel started, and this week is the week where I've no longer made it a goal to make a video every day. I just do it, right, because it's become automatic, right? So if it helps you, whatever you want to do, whether you want to start exercising or eating healthier, interesting, it's going to help you to just do it for 67 days. Put up a board, 66 days, put up a board on your wall and check off 66 days and you'll get there. If you're trying to quit something, which you're having a hard time quitting, if it helps at all, know that it's going to take about 66 days. It will probably take about 66 days. Okay. No big deal, actually. No big deal. I mean, it's kind of a big deal, because the opponent can make a sacrifice Emrakul. Everything bad is about this. So you just work on something for 66 days. You don't even have to win 66 days. You just have to fight 66 days, and that's good enough. Funeral Charm. Well, we could draw 2, discard 2. Is that going to do anything? In response to discarding a card, discard my hand. So I hope some of you find that useful. Again, this channel is about Magic the Gathering and is about learning, and is about learning from Magic the Gathering, but fundamentally the primary aim of this channel is to help people move, think, and feel better. And the way the channel works is it's about a little bit more than Magic, and that overarching thing is going to bleed through at times. Otherwise, it would just be not as... Otherwise, there wouldn't be a reason to do it. I'm just going to go for it. There's so many channels that are just about playing Magic, right? Or just about Magic without some greater big purpose. So that's what makes this channel different. The main thing. So we have an Emrakul. See, the opponent has actually only 1 card left. I imagine it's a Smallpox, and we're going to get our Emrakul. Oh, we actually won. The opponent goofed up horribly. So they looked at through our library, but they actually didn't understand what was going on. Alright, so how to win this game, or this match. Bolts are going to come out. Wormcoil's coming in. Spreading Seas is coming in. Relic probably doesn't do a whole lot. Maybe a little bit. Spell Pierce, I'm actually not a huge fan of. I mean, it can counter a few things, but we want the charge lands. The game's going to go long. We need more fuel. I'm not convinced these counter spells are super good. We actually don't have a ton of great things for this match. Getting Electrolyze in. So, you may be wondering, what if we polymorph into Wormclaw Engine? That's totally fine. Like, from what I've seen, actually, you know what? I'm concerned about Ensnaring Bridge. So, I'm going to bring in a Shattering Spree and play 61. Yeah, Ensnaring Bridge could stop our Emrakul from attacking. Yeah, so if we hit Polymorph, 6/6 is fine. If they have to make us sack it with Smallpox, that's totally fine. Yeah, because of Ensnaring Bridge, I'm going to go for a Mana Leak as well. If we sack this to Smallpox, the 3/3s will finish them too, and it's just something we can top deck in the late game and throw down. I have to look for a null. We actually didn't see the rack and stuff like that. Otherwise, you know, maybe we want some of these counters. It's hard to say. Shattering Spree does seem good though. I'll just try it. So today's question, and this, sure, I'll keep this. This question you don't have to answer in the comments, but it's something that is helpful to think about. What habit do you want to stop? I'm concerned about getting surgical extraction, so I'm going to discard Mana Leak and keep all these remands, because if we lose a remand and I get surgical extracted, that would suck. Yeah, what habit are you trying to stop? What habit are you trying to start? And can you replace one with the other? Habit replacement is another reasonably useful way to... There's a Liliana's Caress, and that's it. And some swamps. Okay, well, meanwhile, okay, we hit lands. Bottom this one. We'll keep this one. Ship the turn. Liliana's Caress. If we discard 9 cards, we lose. Whenever an opponent discards a card, loses 2 life. So we need to be careful, and our hand basically is poo-poo. Not Raven's Crime. That's the one card. Wow. So what we can do is we can let this one resolve and take 2 damage, and then we can remand the other copy and it will actually be countered. It won't go back to their hand, I believe. Maybe it will. I'm not sure how this works. We're going to find out the rules right now. Actually, it does go back to their hand, so it doesn't work super amazing. I guess I'm going to discard as a charm. I don't know. Alright, well, we have the pieces. We just are going to get our hand stripped before we get there, most likely. We have all the pieces. It's just, yeah, it's tough because, yeah, remand. Maybe I should have kept the as a charm. Neither really do a whole lot. That's actually a really good draw. Yeah, it's actually the best draw. Blackmail. That's unfortunate. I should have kept. So, yeah, that's unfortunate. I should have kept it Through the Breach instead of an Emrakul. Well, it works out about the same. It doesn't make much of a difference. But, yeah. The reason I was going to keep the 4th land a Polymorph from what we had seen of the opponent's hand, that made sense. No regrets on that. Steam Vents. Although, if we had kept... Yeah, and even if we had, like, the opponent taking Polymorph and we'd had Breach, Emrakul right now, we're still going to discard those. So, alright, Emrakul getting shuffled back in. And now we're going to be down to top decks. I'm going to go ahead and get a Dryad Arbor and start beating down. Opponent has no cards. We're at 5 life. We don't want to have to discard. Polymorph is the optimal draw. But basically, just anything that... Shrieking Affliction. Yeah, that's... I'm gonna... 1 or fewer cards. Alright, we died. Concede game. The opponent's hand got a lot better. Raven's Crime, with the handful lands, turns into a powerful weapon with Liliana's Caress, but oh well. I'm interested in a null at this point. It's situational, but we can always discard it. We can always discard situational things. I actually don't like Is It Charm that much. It doesn't seem like it kills anything, and the loot ability is not great. The draw 2 discard. The counter ability is going to be fine. Spreading Seas does not do a whole lot. Gitaxian Probe is just is not really helpful either. So we will try this out. Spell Pierce is kind of meh because the game goes late. It doesn't counter. We're on the play here. And I like this one. I mean, we'll see. The opponent kept, and that's... At least we didn't mulligan, as I always say. I like both of these, if possible. I think I should have used a fetch land, because if we're going to fetch on the second turn, we're going to have to shuffle one of these away. And I would rather draw the Wormcoil Engine. So, oops, I think that I fucked up. I can say the F word on this channel. Who's going to stop me? Who's going to stop me? The rack. Okay. Let's keep a full hand. And play a land. I would like to draw the Pentad Prism and then use it if possible. Oh, for Wrench Mine too. Are we gonna get hit with Wrench Mine? Smallpox. I'm gonna Is It Charm it. We're gonna lose our Pentad Prism. Man, I screwed that one up. Well, hell, who knows. I'm actually going to remand it. We can Is It Charm it later. Plenty of cards right now. Another Emrakul sucks, but hopefully we get a chance to discard it. Serum Visions are a mountain. I will grab a mountain and be ready to Is It Charm that Smallpox. Shrieking Affliction. We've tried to not empty our hand out before. Wow, okay. Try to keep our hand full if possible. Crack this for Steam Vents. And another Serum Visions. Basically just try to dig for lands until we can get Wormcoil out. Or both of these could be good. Actually, I don't like Polymorph because from what we've seen, the opponent has Smallpox. At least one Smallpox. But Through the Breach, if that resolves, is going to win us the game. And actually, we have a good chance of that. Oh, I should have Is It Charmed the Smallpox, because if the opponent has a fourth land, they're going to be able to... Okay, awesome. Wrench Mind. I'm going to just discard this Wormcoil Engine. The Wormcoil Engine turned out to be great. This way we can Is It Charm whatever's left. Untap, Through the Breach. Smallpox, counter target non-creature spell unless they pay 2. So unless they have a surgical to make us shuffle our deck, we're going to untap, we're going to draw Through the Breach, and we're going to cast it, and we're going to cast Emrakul. And that is gonna, and we did it, okay. I don't think there's a card in the game that can stop us at this point. Other than our own misclick. Maybe like a shoal, like a surprising shoal. So, bam. Annihilator 6. And we are definitely moving on with this deck. We're going to play something else tomorrow. Or show off a new deck tomorrow. So, make sure to check back. Opponent at 5. I guess they're still going for the win. Got him. Alright, yeah. Okay, so think about attacking things over 67-day periods. And if you just got here, stay for the next 67 days and see if it's helped you. and we'll be back. And yeah, thanks so much to our patrons. Thank you so much to everyone who's gotten the book. If you haven't checked that out yet, there's links below. Lots and lots of awesome bonuses that we can offer you if you follow them links. So make sure to check it out and support what we're doing, and we'll support you in various ways. And thank you so much. Again, if you haven't checked out the deck tag, check that out. So talk to you later. See you tomorrow.